Good evening, everyone. Excellent. How are you feeling today? So what all did you do today so far? What did you hear about so far? Well, it definitely looks like you're all quite motivated. So ఇంతవరకు మీకు సెషన్స్ అన్ని బాగా ఎనర్జెటిక్గా ఎక్సైటింగ్గా అయ్యాయి. ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం బోరింగ్ టాపిక్స్. రియాలిటీ చెక్. Right? How many of you are in your final years of your graduation studies? Excellent. That's a good 50% easily or more. And how many of you are in your initial years of your careers? Maybe you just joined a firm and you're trying to further improve on your career goals. Excellent. That is also a small percentage. Very good. So the theory that we will go into now is about employability, planning your career, right? So let us dive straight into it without any further delay. Before I get started, there is something that I heard once, which I always like to repeat everywhere I go. It goes as follows. You don't have to be great to get started. అంటే మీరు ఏదన్నా గొప్ప పని ఒక మహత్వపూర్ణమైన విషయం సాధించాలి అంటే మీరు గొప్పవాళ్ళై ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Right? You don't have to be great to start something new. However, remember this very important. You have to get started to be great. మీరు ఏదైనా పని మొదలెట్టి దాన్ని సక్సెస్ఫుల్గా కంప్లీట్ చేస్తేనే you will achieve greatness. All right? So with that as a quick backdrop, let us get into the next slides of the session. Now, here is the important thing. While it says that you have to get started to be great, here is the good news for you all. You all are here attending this session, Impact, and that automatically translates to the fact that you have started. So please give yourself a big round of applause that you have actually started. Pat yourself in the back. Whenever you do something great, pat yourself, "Arey boss, ival manchi pani chesan. I came here, I started this." You took the first step towards success in your careers, towards success in your lives. Being here is the first step. And now we have to work on the further steps. So let me quickly move forward and share you a framework that I feel is very important for us to plan our careers. Plan our careers towards success. The foundation for everything are these skills. These are things that you are experiencing here. You experience some today, you will see some more tomorrow, and some more the day after, right? So what are you learning here? You're learning about ethics, confidence, communication skills, self-motivation, goal setting, public speaking, motivation. Ivanni vinnara ikkada meer ikkada dakanu? There is more coming tomorrow. These are all extremely important for you to be able to plan a successful career. Now, once you have all of these foundation elements in place, what next? Okay, boss, 3-day session attend ayipayanu. Ivanni naku, I'm very comfortable. I'm practicing the things that I've been told to do. But then what? Then comes a small little framework which has been very helpful for me and many of my friends. And I want to share this framework with you. It's about planning a career. It all starts with knowing yourself. Know yourself. Who am I? And what does it mean? Who am I? And I'm not going into spirituality and all of that. Who am I with respect to what are the things that I like to do? Naku chess istama, cricket istama, football istama, enti. If I'm liking chess, then maybe I'm more of a strategic person. Maybe strategic roles and strategic organizations will be a good fit for me. But if I like soccer, maybe I'm more of an action-oriented person. How many of you are following FIFA? Very few. So we have some action-oriented people here, right? So maybe there are different types of jobs that might be a better fit for you. So knowing yourself is more important. Now, I will not be able to spend more time in the aspect of knowing yourself, because this is something that you have to reach out to your mentors, the various individuals who are taking different sessions here for you. Reach out to them offline. Take their guidance in assessing yourself. But once you know yourself, the next step is to explore your options, right? So you understand, hey, these are the things that I think I like, and these are the areas or careers where I might be successful. If these are what I'll be successful in, what are the various companies out there? What are the different places these companies are, and what are the kind of jobs that these companies have? So exploring your options. Once you're done exploring your options, now it is time to action. You have to set a goal. Hey, there are these companies that I have shortlisted, or these roles that I have shortlisted. I'm going to set a very specific goal, very focused, very targeted. Once you have your goal in place, it's time for action. Act to achieve your goal. Whatever you have planned, whatever you have set out as your goal, you have to act to achieve it. Now with this, what happened? You have known yourself, you have explored the options, you have set a goal, you have act to achieve it. Now the cycle is not complete yet. I say, hey, I have achieved what I want. What else should I be doing? Why is the cycle not complete yet? Because there is one more very important aspect. Review your decisions. How many people have you met who have changed their careers halfway through? Have you met anybody who has changed their careers halfway through? They started as maybe doing a technical role, but eventually got moved on to a business role. Have you come across these examples? I'll tell you about myself. I've done my engineering in computer science, and I've done my MS in information systems from DePaul University, Chicago. Started my career in software engineering. I was into Java, J2E, programming, coding, development. I was building Java beans a decade ago, right? But then over time, my interests changed. I reviewed my decisions. I went back and took up more of project managerial roles. Then subsequently went on into more of sales roles. And then I did my MBA. I did my executive MBA from ISB in Hyderabad, which had a program along with Wharton, Philadelphia, Kellogg, Illinois, and FDC in Brazil, where I traveled to all these locations and learned more about business, and now I'm heading the marketing function for my organization. So it's a continuous cycle of reviewing your decisions and re-looking at how you can further progress your career and improve your success rate. All right? So that is a small framework. Now I'll go over each of these elements of this framework, and based on the time that's available, let us see what we can learn about each of those areas. Are we good? I don't hear any yes. Are we good? Excellent. So as I told you, this is going to be more of a practical reality check session. So there is not going to be exciting videos, there are not going to be exciting sessions, but things that I really need you to focus on and take notes on so that you can act on those the moment you're done with the program here. Now, the first aspect of who you are. Again, as I said, I'll be spending very little time here. It's all about you understanding what is it that you like. Where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now? What is your lifetime ambition? Where do you want to be? Introspect on these things. That will help you know who you are. But always remember one thing. Improving yourself is not a one-time activity. You attending this session, this workshop today for these 3 days cannot be a one-time activity in life. Improving yourself is a continuous process. This is a great image that I have seen in one city that I was traveling to, and that has a lot of message. The sculpture is half built. He has his hands. Now he is further creating his own image, right? So he is sculpting himself. That is how you all need to look at yourself. Whenever you are attending programs like this, you are actually making yourself better, making yourself a much more beautiful and wonderful statue, okay? And it's all in the attitude. It's all in the attitude. One day, in a hot summer in Greece, there were 2 workers who were working on the street building something. There was a lady walking by. And she asked one of the guys, hey, what are you doing here? So that guy was all, it's sweaty, hot and all. He said, you're working very hard on building something. I don't know what, there's going to be something over here. So that's one attitude. Then the lady went on to the other worker and asked, hey, what are you doing here? He said very proudly, ma'am, we are building a world-class palace here. There are going to be tourists from all over the world who are going to stop here and look at what I am building. That is how you all need to be looking at yourself as. When you are investing time in improving yourself, that is because you are going to become a world-class monument one day. That is how I need you to look at yourself. Now, with that done, we will move on into exploring your options. So I have a quick question for you all. Can anyone of you give me examples of some of the company names that you know? Anybody in the third row here? Give me a name of a company. Mahindra. Mahindra Satyam, okay. Who else? Any other names? TCS. Very nice. HSBC. Excellent. Amway. Very nice business. Apple. Excellent. Microsoft. Wipro. Here is an interesting phenomenon. Wherever I have been to and I ask people, hey, tell me names of some companies, it is predominantly IT companies. Why is that so? Is IT the only business? No, by the way, I'm in IT business myself. But however, I'm just curious to know, is IT the only business out there? Let me share some interesting facts with you. Here is a list of global, so here is a list of various other industries that are out there. This in energy sector, there are materials, industries, consumer discretionary, a whole lot of them. And the interesting statistic is the world's top 20 largest companies by revenues does not have any IT company in there. You have Walmart, Royal Dutch Shell, Exxon, BP, Saudi Aramco, Whitehall. They are all in either utilities, oil and gas, or consumer goods conglomerate, and so on. So one of the first things when you are exploring your options, don't be narrowed down by thinking IT is the only business out there. Now, in each of these companies, there are IT roles. Now you must be thinking, I did my engineering and computer science. Now this guy suddenly says, don't think only about IT. Don't worry. Even if you've done your engineering and computer science or IT related field, you don't necessarily have to work for an IT company. You could be working in any of these companies and building IT platforms and systems for them, right? So, the reason why I brought this up was for you to realize that there are a lot of other options and scope out there for you. So when you're exploring your options of how to build your career, make sure you're looking at everything. Make sure you're looking at everything. Now the next important thing that comes up is, what kind of a role do you want to be in? What kind of a role do you want to be in? Now, in any given company, what is the operations that take place? Any company, the standard is, there is some kind of an input, there is some activity, some operation that happens, and there is an output, which is a product or a service or a good or something, right? So if that is a standard operation of a business, where ultimately something comes out as an output, there are something that happens which gets you the output, and there are some inputs to it. Now, what kind of a role would you want to be in? Again, remember, we are all talking about exploring your options. The more you are aware, the more better decisions you will be able to make. Always making informed decisions will help you to be more successful. So if these are the various things that happen in a company, what role do you want to be in? And when talking about role, look at sample organization structure. Starting from the CEO, there are so many roles, technical roles, functional roles, business roles. Where do you see yourself fitting? Going back to the example of, I love playing chess. So where should you be? You should be in the chief strategy officer role or in the operations of that team. You love action, right? You like getting things done. You are an execution person. When I say execution, I don't mean cutting off head, but execution as with respect to implementing something, getting things done. Then you are probably better in the operations team. So, or the engineering team maybe. So there are various aspects that you need to understand about companies around you. The more you know, the more you will be able to be successful in making your decisions. Now these are things that are not covered in our curriculum. You are probably learning Java, you are probably learning C, C++, or you're learning maths, communication skills and all of that. But these are the aspects which you get by increasing your general knowledge of the world around you. Once you know it, you make better decisions. Now, you have known all of that, but here is an interesting statistic. Only about 50% of MBAs each year are really employable. Here's another interesting stat. Only 70% of engineers are employable. What does this employable mean? Yeah, I've gone to an engineering college, I've worked hard 4 years, or maybe in some cases 5 years or 6 years, whatever be it, I got my degree, I'm done. What is he talking about employability? Am I in the 17% or am I in the remaining 83%? How do you know? What's happening here? So the challenge is the graduates who come out of these colleges are probably having certain core technology skills but are lacking all the periphery skills. Now I'm glad you all are here because you're gaining all of the periphery skills here to some extent, right? So here are some interesting stats. Again, I'll skip these in the interest of time. But ultimately, the bottom line remains that there is a large skill gap. You need to realize that there is a skill gap that you all should fulfill in order to be successful. Now, going back to our framework, we completed about knowing who we are. We spoke about exploring the options. How do you explore the options? Learn about various companies and learn about the kind of roles within that and know what is a fit gap. If I'm going to that company, what is the gap that I have? What is my current knowledge? Where should I be in order to be able to be successful there? Then comes the most important aspect of setting your goal. Now you have clarity. Now set your goals. Now when you set your goals, it's all important. Do you board a bus without knowing where the bus goes? Right? So just like that, before embarking on your journey of your career, know exactly where your goal is so that you'll be more successful. Here's an interesting question for some of you. What do you need to climb a mountain? What do you really need to climb a mountain? Any answers? Anybody? I'm sorry? Confidence. Excellent. Great point. You're scaling great heights. If you get scared on the top, then you're going to fall down. So you need confidence that you'll be able to do it. What else do you need? Gear. Yeah, you need all the mountain gear, right? You need those special shoes, you need those special things that, Sylvester Stallone has in the Cliffhanger movie, he keeps all of those and all that. Excellent. What else do you need? The vision. Okay, where is the top? You know the route and the direction. Desire. Excellent. See, everything starts with a desire. If you don't have a desire, then it'll just be a dream. I'm thinking of eventually being there. But you'll never actually get there unless the desire becomes really, really, strong. There's an interesting story. Once Socrates asked, hey, what is the real, somebody asked Socrates, hey, what is the real meaning of having a passionate desire to achieve something in life? How do you say that, somebody can have a really passionate desire? So Socrates said, hey, excellent question, man. Come back tomorrow morning to the riverfront. I'm going to teach you something very important. So this guy went back to the riverfront the next day morning. When they reached the riverfront, Socrates asked him to step into the water. When the guy stepped into the water, immediately from behind, Socrates pushed him into the water and completely, put his head into the water. And that guy was now struggling. First he was shocked that, somebody has, put him underwater, and now he was struggling, he was not able to breathe, he was beating his hands, he was beating his legs and all of that. Finally, after a long pause, just, when Socrates felt this guy might actually die, he quickly pulled him up. So when he pulled him up, that guy was like shocked. Man, what is it? I just asked you what is passion, what is desire to achieve something, and you tried to kill me. He said, no, I was not trying to kill you. Then he said, then what happened there? Socrates told, hey, I have a simple question for you. When you were inside, in the water, what was going on in your mind? What was it that you wanted? He said, hey, I was dying for air. I needed air. I absolutely wanted air. Then Socrates said, that is the kind of desire and passion you should have in order to succeed in life. It's almost like if you don't have that kind of a desire, if you're not able to achieve it, you should feel like you're going to die. You should feel like walls around you are closing on you, right? Only then you will be able to achieve what you want to in life. That is the kind of desire you should have. That is the kind of focus you should have on your goal. So excellent point. You need to have desire. But all of these are great. You could have excellent, mountain gear, and you could have all the, let us assume that these mountaineers have attended the impact session, so they have a lot of confidence, they know what is desired and everything is fully set. But you know what, there is one most important thing for these guys to be able to climb a mountain, and that is the mountain itself. If you don't have the mountain, what will you climb? Right? That, my friends, is your goal. If you don't have a clear vision of what is your goal, you could attend 100 of these sessions. You could go to some other tuition to learn latest, big data techniques. You could join in a tuition to learn Hadoop or analytics or whatever is a new trend going on. But if you don't have the goal clear in front of you, then it is all going to go in vain. All right? So my friends, that is where the goal and importance of goal comes, because for you to be able to reach the mountain top, you need to have the mountain that you intend to climb. So, and also imagine, we spoke about FIFA a little while earlier, right? So look at the soccer field. Imagine what would happen if the soccer field, the goal posts are removed. If those are not there, what are the two teams going to do? Right? So just keep that in mind when you're looking at achieving, having a clarity of your goal. Now, here is a small framework that I will give you when you build your goals. It's called the SMART framework. Have you guys covered this in the sessions here earlier already? Yes, no? Yes, you covered SMART goals. So I'll quickly skip this. Basically, all you need to ensure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. Why is relevance important? Right? Just because you like how your favorite hero dances in a movie, you say, I'm going to keep a goal to myself that I'm going to learn this new dance form. How is this relevant to your career? If you are in the movie industry, yeah, it probably makes sense. But any other industry, that probably doesn't make sense. So that's how relevance is important. And last, of course, time-bound. If you don't have time-bound goals, then it's of no use. But make sure you're having your goals that are time-bound. I will eventually learn it maybe in the next 2-3 years. By that time, 2-3 different cycles of technology changes have already happened. So your goal is not relevant anymore. So keep the SMART framework in mind while creating your goals. And again, within that, there are different types. You could have immediate, short-term, mid-term, long-term, and lifelong goals, right? And one of the important things, while there are different techniques to capture your goals and different types of goals, any goal that is not written is only like a child's wish, right? So one of the things that I will request you all is to create a template that looks like this and write down your goals. Write down your goals and look at them every day so that you are working towards achieving it. Now here is a quick exercise for you all. I'll give you all about 30 seconds to 1 minute maybe. Think of a quick immediate goal and write it down on the papers that are in front of you. We spoke about who we are, we know the exploring the options, we know about setting the goals, and now it's all time for action. Guys, here is where I will be giving you, now the act piece is all about the action, right? So I'm going to talk about the key elements that are needed for you to plan a successful career move. Whether you are a fresher trying to get into your first job, or you're already in a job and trying to move to another one, what are the top 3 things that you need to take care of? The first aspect is employability. We told earlier about the number of people who are really employable, who are graduates from either MBA colleges or technology colleges. The second aspect is about resume building. How do you build your resume? The third is about preparing yourself for interviews. How do you prepare yourself for interviews? Okay? I'll just give you some quick notes on do's and don'ts and best practices of what you can do here. Please take a note of that, and over time, you will be mastering yourself in these areas. Employability. Let's speak about this first. So I have a question for you. When you're not feeling well and you want to visit a doctor, what do you look for in a doctor, right? What are the things that you want to look for in a doctor? Now, one option could be that you want the doctor to be really handsome, like George Clooney, cool, right? Is that important? Somewhat. It doesn't hurt. The doctor is good looking, right? Or is it important that the doctor knows what he is doing? వైద్యం బాగా తెలిసిన డాక్టర్ కావాలా లేకపోతే మంచి స్టైల్గా హ్యాండ్సమ్గా ఉన్న డాక్టర్ కావాలా? Which doctor you do go for? The one who knows what he's doing, right? Who is a good doctor. Now, similarly, let us forget about doctors and all. That's a high-end profession. Let us talk about something more simpler in life. Let us talk about an engineer. So you want to build a home, right? You want to look for an engineer. What are the qualities that you look for in an engineer? Do you want this person to be like Schwarzenegger? My engineer should be, having six-pack and, all biceps, triceps and everything, all of that. Is that important for you, or is it important that the engineer has the skills and is able to build a home in which you and your family can live forever? What is more important? Obviously. So you're thinking, yeah, he's asking stupid questions. Why is he asking these questions? It is obvious. I'll obviously choose the one on the right side. Now, if you as a consumer of medical services or engineering services are looking for these qualities in the people you hire, in the people you engage, then imagine what should the companies that are planning to hire you will be looking for in each one of you, right? While they'll be looking at the fact whether you're neatly dressed or you're having all the nice soft skills and all of that, but they'll be absolutely looking at whether you're having your core skills in place. So that is where your core education comes into picture. So keep that in mind while applying for jobs. Don't just be, feeling sad that, hey, there is a 17% employability, I'm in the 83. Why is that? This is the very reason. Now, for you to be able to get yourself into the 17% or maybe increase the pie of the 17%, you need to do a quick framework, a learning framework. You need to ensure your core subjects are well covered in your learning program, learning and innovation skills, life and career skills, information and technology skills. The ones surrounding the core subjects are covered in these 3-day session anyway, so you're good. But the others are where you have to put your focus. And I've come across a lot of people who said, they asked me this question in the interview and I left that as an optional in my, when I was learning for my exam. So I don't know what to do. Guys, you don't want to go to a doctor who says, hey, I know how to cut you, but I don't know how to sew you back. I left that in optional. You don't want to go to that kind of a doctor. And likewise, no company wants to get somebody who has left something as optional. So nothing is optional. And ultimately, it's all about your choice. Where do you want to be? How many of you know this person here? Right? He's from our place. He's now heading the most successful technology company in the world. Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft. So guys, key message for you to realize is mastery over your core subject, understanding your subject area. Don't just study for exams, but learn. Focus on your projects and make a schedule with a discipline, right? Now, how many of you know some of these? What are these logos? What is that? Facebook. How many of you know Facebook? Wow, that's a lot of you. All are already on Facebook, right? How many of you know Twitter? Super, very nice. So you know all of these. And now how many of you know these? Very few hands. Why is that so? Right? Guys, you have all the knowledge, wealth of information available to you at the tip of your fingers. EDX by Harvard University, Udemy by University of Maryland. Name the course, name the program, it is available online for free. You can go there and learn and improve your skills, right? And somebody, once I attended one program, somebody told me, now I'm in final year, if this guy had told me this in first year, I would have learned all of this. Now it's too late. But guys, there is never such a thing as it's too late. The second best time to do anything is always right now. All right? So please go ahead and get started. The last two topics I'll quickly cover are resume building. Make sure you're covering what to write and what not to write. I will ensure these notes are shared with you through our friends. Make sure you are covering those so that your resumes are fully intact. And I will ensure there is some kind of a guideline that is shared with you from interview preparation as well, which will help you be successful in your career. So guys, know who you are, explore the options, set your targets, act. And when you act, you're successful. You want to reevaluate if that is the right course of direction or if you need to change it. So with that, I'd like to conclude my session and thank you all for spending this time with me, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.